Hello, everybody. This is John Mono, the owner and photographer for John Mono Weddings, a artisanal wedding photography studio in Connecticut. I wanted to talk today a little bit about the topic of preferred vendors. A lot of times you go to a venue and the venue says, "This is my preferred vendor list," and you go, "Ooh, wow, they're preferred, they're the best," and so you want to book them. But there's a lot that happens with preferred vendors that you might not know about. And I'm all about keeping it honest in the wedding photography industry in general. So I wanted to dive into the topic of preferred vendors. So when you want to find a photographer, where do you begin? Do you ask a friend? Do you look in the phone book? We don't have phone books anymore. The yellow pages. Do you go on the Knot, Wedding Wire, Facebook groups? Where do you begin? And who do you trust? That's the bottom line question is, who do you trust? And on a lot of these Facebook groups, I call them fly-by-night photographers. Anybody can just put up a shingle here. Hey, I got a camera, I'm a photographer, offer great prices. And I see so many brides being duped and scammed by photographers that are not ethical. So the idea and the concept behind preferred vendors is pretty nice. You go to a venue and they used to photographers that work there. And so if a vendor refers them, generally they're going to be pretty good, because if they're not going to be preferred very long. So it can be a good tool to find good photographers. But the thing that nobody tells you is that with a lot of venues, the photographer or the DJ or whoever, they have to pay to get on that list. So yeah, they're preferred vendors because they're paying to be on their list. So it's not that they're the best. It's not that they're going to do the best work or give you the best deal. Often it's because they paid to get on your list. And that is something that I will not do. To me, it's against my principles to basically pay to get on some list to say I'm preferred. Hey, if I'm good, I'm good, but to me, it's against my inner core of my being to pay for that. And I think it's not upfront and honest with couples, because couples don't often know that. The other thing is that if I have to pay to be on everyone's preferred vendor list, then guess what's going to happen to my prices? They're going to have to go up and up and up and up. And a lot of people say, well, how come your prices are so cheap or affordable? And it's like, well, because I'm not having to pay to be on everybody's preferred vendor list. That's one of the reasons. I'm not having to pay to be on front page of the Knot and pay $6,000 a year advertising. So most of my work comes from referrals from people and from vendors, venues. And the vendors and venues that recommend me, they don't get anything from it. They just do it because they know I'm going to do a good job for their clients, and that makes them happy. Just last week, I had a venue reach out to me and say, "Oh, would you like to be in our brochure?" And I'm like, okay, yeah. The first thought on my mind is how much? So yeah, it's $700 to be on their brochure. So even when you see things like pamphlets and brochures that venues give out, often the photographers or whoever's on there are having to pay to be in there. So once again, yeah, they're preferred because they're basically paying for all the venues advertising. I can be laughing about that. But it doesn't mean necessarily they're the best or that they're going to be the best services. So that's a little bit about preferred vendors that you should know. And once again, if anyone refers me from a venue, it's because they do it out of their heart, and it's not because they're getting any compensation from me. So I hope that helps you out in the process. Good luck with everything, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to help you with your photography decisions. Bye-bye.